What's up guys, DIY Salvage Guy here. Welcome back to another episode of my channel. On today's episode, we're going to be doing some painting. So if you guys are new here, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys continue to support me. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you throw some comments down below, and make sure your post notifications are on. That way you guys can stay up to date on the build and everything else that's going on in this channel. To all my returning viewers and subscribers, thank you so much for coming back and continuing to support me. Now, I don't really have any experience with this. You guys saw me do the primer, you saw me struggle a little bit with it. The paint is a tougher process because you're not covering it up anymore. So I had a little bit of difficulty with all that, but you know, I had to fight a couple things. Inexperience, working in a garage, and trying to do things that I'm just not accustomed to, no experience in. Now, a couple things that I learned in this had to do with the whole paint setup. So originally I put the hood down and I wasn't able to get around the entire thing. So that was a problem with the first coat. Kind of corrected it after that, and I was able to kind of go over it. You guys will see me go over the second coat with basically doing the jams and everything in the corners before I get to the actual the top part, because all the overspray and everything, I figure I'd get all that out first. So I learned as I went with this. You know, you guys know this channel, learn as you go, and it came out pretty good. So I'm happy with it. Now, another caveat of doing things in your garage is, you know, I tried to ventilate it as good as I could. I had a fan up in the front. I had a couple fans in the back blowing out so that I had some ventilation in here. So this episode where I'm doing this intro versus where the actual episode was filmed is a little bit delayed. So the mask that I was using was an N95 mask. I should have been using a respirator, but when I painted, it was peak COVID and I wasn't able to get anything. What I did was I painted, I got in, I got out, and I got out of the garage as quickly as possible. So I wasn't really in here for too long, no more than 5 minutes every time. You know, I was safe in that regard. So it aired out, it cleared out pretty quickly. So now we got to make the most of this DIY type thing. So as I've said in the past, this is not where you guys are going to learn how to paint. There's countless other YouTubers out there, countless other tutorials or videos that will show you how to paint correctly. I'm learning as I go. So in the future, when I do paint again, I will obviously be better at it, but this is something that you can't cover up. Painting is an art form. It takes years of experience to master. If I get a C out of it, like I said in the video, you know, I'm okay with that. So if you guys do this at home, you can definitely do it at home, but you have to temper your expectations. Don't go into it expecting it to come out perfect, because it probably won't, but it'll come out pretty good. So make sure that you guys are ready to do some wet sanding after it. Make sure you're doing paint correction, and something that I did learn after this that you guys will see in the next video that I messed up on as well. So also the reason why I went with the chroma base is because the quality of the paint, what I heard, is unrivaled. So you guys see those couple of dings that are still showing on the bumper from the primer, and the chroma base should fill those in pretty nicely, and it does wind up doing that pretty good. So I'll point all that stuff out in the paint reveal video as well. But so it came out good. I'm very happy with it. What's up guys, DIY Salvage Guy here, and today we're going to be sanding down the primer, maybe even getting to the base coat. So I'm going to show you guys how the primer came out on the bumper in a little bit. The hood came out really well, I'm very happy with that, and I'll give you guys a little rundown of that as well. On the bumper itself, since I had to do some body work on there, it didn't come out perfect. I was told that you need to make it perfect in order to get the primer on, but with my skill level, I didn't think that I wasn't going to get it any further than it is. I'm going to sand it down. I'm going to see how it looks. It's in a very inconspicuous area where there is a little bit of damage to it. So overall, I'm very happy with the way that the bumper and everything came out. The hood I'm very happy with, but this is all learning experience to me, guys. So right now, we're going to dive into getting the bumper and the hood sanded down, and we're probably going to paint these one by one. You guys saw how I was priming. I didn't like the way that the hood was situated. I'm probably going to lay it down, and I'm probably just going to go over it little by little and get a nice coat down. It'll give me an opportunity to see how the base coat lays down and make sure that I can cover every single surface of it. Do a quick overview of the primer and the body work. So it didn't come out perfect, but I'm very happy with the way that the primer laid on all together. I'm not getting into the body damage just yet, but the primer itself looks like it came on pretty good. Looks like it's stuck pretty well. Very happy with that. A couple imperfections in the primer that I think will sand right out. No big deal. Got a couple bumps. Wasn't painting in a perfectly clean environment, so this stuff's expected. Down here you can still tell that some of the body work didn't come out perfectly, so you can see that there. But considering where the damage is, I'm not too concerned with it. Chances are it's going to get scuffed up like that in that area pretty much as soon as I start driving it. Now, if you guys remember, this area right here is where the hole was, and this is what I'm going to try to sand out a little bit, and I think it should be okay. The primer just kind of laid on top of it, so. But overall, I'm okay with this. This was the big part of the project, and it came out pretty well. So in order to get the car prepped for paint, you guys saw me prime it. I just did an overview with it. What I'm going to be doing is I need to sand it down. So I'm using a metallic paint, so I need to be able to sand it down. So I'm going to start with a rougher grit. I think I start with like a 150, and then I just kind of go up from there. 150, 240, 320, 400. So when I'm sanding down the primer to get it prepped for paint, if you're using metallic, you want to go up to like 400. If you're not using a metallic, using just like a flat base color, 320 is usually good enough in order to get the proper adhesion. Here, and today we're going to start painting. So I primed it up yesterday, made sure everything was good, sanded it all down. I'm going to give it one final clean, make sure all the dust and debris is off, and I'm going to start painting. Hopefully get everything good today. I'm going to start with the hood, make sure that I do not mess this part up, although it might happen anyway. But I want to make sure that the hood is good, then I'll shift over to the bumper because I want to make sure I have enough room. I'm working in a one car garage right now, so I'll get that good. There's no rush on this, so there's just a lot to do and not a lot of space to do it in. So little by little, we'll get it all done. So today's paint. Alright guys, so I'm about to start painting. I went with the DuPont Chroma base. Local finish master recommended it, said it's a really good paint. It should help cover up any problems I have in the painting process. One thing I'm going to try to avoid the most is tiger striping. So we'll see how the first coat goes on, and hopefully we can correct from there. Alright guys, so I'm going to be doing the second coat now, and one thing I noticed is, probably should have realized it earlier, but the hood is too long, it's too wide to do that way, so I'm going to try to do this coat from front and then pull from the middle to the back. Hopefully I should be able to get a nice, better coat. I definitely missed a couple spots, so I'm going to try to go slower, and hopefully this comes out a little better on the second coat. But never painted before, so if I get a C out of this, I'll be happy. Alright guys, now we're on to the bumper. I got a second coat on the bumper. Tack it up real quick. Coat number 2, base coat. Alright guys, we're going to drop our clear on now. that's going to do it for today's episode, guys. Really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a thing or two, maybe some do's, maybe some don'ts. Maybe you guys were able to pick up some of the things that I learned along the way as well. And this is a learning process. Everyone's going to learn at their own pace, and basically if you just want to be able to pick this stuff up, you know, you're going to have to make some sacrifices and some quality on your first couple projects, and you'll be able to eventually get the experience that you need. People go to school for this stuff. People have been doing this for years. It's not something that you can just pick up and say, hey, I'm perfect at it. You know, it's not simple 2 + 2 = 4 type thing for math. It's experience, and being able to do it in my garage, I think it came out really well. So hopefully you guys will try to be inspired by this and try to do these types of things on your own and not be so intimidated by it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for being here. If you guys are new, thanks for checking it out. Make sure you like, subscribe, throw me some comments down below. Make sure you have that bell hit, post notifications, and also make sure that you guys are following me over on Instagram, because they do post things quicker on there than they do make their way over to YouTube. So now that we're coming to the end of the build, I need to get another one. So why don't you guys throw me some comments down below in order to let me know what types of builds you guys want to see me do. I hope that this video series will help inspire you to try to pick up a wrench, buy a car, do whatever you need to do to just try to become a DIY salvage guy yourself.